Right before we do begin, though, I just want to acknowledge the ancestors of the land that we're on, the Tongva land, the Chumash land, and the four directions, and the space for being what it is and the company in which I am. So thank you
Thank you.
for opening up this space. My name is Sofia Naseem, and I'm a teacher, I'm a yogini, I'm an artist. I am very happy to be here today with you. What inspired me? So, there isn't any well, I guess if there was one source of inspiration, it would be Source, or God, or Spirit, whatever word resonates. But luckily, when I'm in that space where I feel close with God or my own spirit, then I see sources of inspiration everywhere. So the first two I can think of and the most important to me are my parents. They're the biggest source of inspiration in that my dad is a physicist. He's so intelligent, teaches me so much, very mathematically intelligent, very scientifically intelligent, and so I've been able to learn so much about nature through him. And my mom, she's more the heart. She's more the love embodied, and I've learned so much about the practice and the embodiment of love through her. And me and my four siblings are all in living lives of service. I don't think any of that would be possible without who my parents are. So those are the biggest sources of inspiration for me. And then throughout my studies, I picked up teachers along the way. I think a big one for me in high school was Maya Angelou. I really connected to some of her books, especially Letter to My Daughter. I felt like when I was reading that she had written it to me. It was so profound for me and my journey. Now I find my teachers in different places. So Yogi Shivadas is who I studied under when I went to India. Reverend Michael Beckwith was who I was just with this morning. Queen Afua was there. I just started doula training with Hayes Hawk. So there's so many teachers that are my inspirations that at this point they're just coming to me, and I meet them and I realize like, wow, I'm supposed to be learning from them. So I really keep an open mind and I stay available so that the universe can bring that to me. What I would tell anyone that's growing into their being would be to trust their intuition first. There's so many teachers out here and parents who believe that they know what's right for their child, and there's information everywhere, but what we often don't have access to is our own voice. And so taking that time to really go inward, to silence the outer world, even our parents, even the people who say they know best for us. Because even though we might come to that conclusion too, we need to do that ourselves. If we become the people who are always looking towards others for guidance, we won't have that inner communion. So I would say find the time and space to build inner communion and really trust your own knowings. I would say that exact point is why I would tell my 18-year-old self that. It was difficult for me to trust my intuition, and I had to learn that the hard way by being in a situation where someone that I looked up to and really trusted was lying to me. And I had to get to a point where my intuition was stronger than information someone else was telling me. But even still, a lot of the times I measured my worth by how my parents saw me or by how others saw me, and just getting to that point of trusting my own intuition and not looking for outer validation really helped me learn that that is the thing that's necessary for me to walk my path. No one else is going to show up. Even the people who criticize or try to control or have me do things differently, they're not going to show up in the times that I really need it. It's going to be me. So if that's the case, then I don't need to hear their voices and get their opinions when I'm making choices for myself. I think I mentioned Maya Angelou. She was big. I'm reading Bell Hooks. I'm on her second book right now. I really look towards Black and Indigenous femme to help guide my path because there's so much knowledge in that. Curandera Maria Sabina, she was a shaman who helped introduce medicine to the West, and I work with her spirit as well. There's deities that I work with, but I don't believe them to be like actual gods or goddesses outside of me, but just essences that they carry. So Durga or Kali, Lakshmi, and then the Prophet Muhammad's wife, Hazrat Aisha. She was a warrior. She had the spirit of a warrior, and there's some orishas that I might work with to Oya and Yamaya. Let me see, there's so many. Also, just when I walk around or like when I look at you, just any reflection of a woman who is living in her truth or in her power or in that path of self-discovery is that mirror. That is a source of inspiration for me too. So it doesn't have to be anything so profound or big or outside of myself. It can be as close as my mother and my sisters or my friends. I do think that I'm excited for all the young girls. Well, children, not just girls, but especially girls who are coming into their power at a really young age. I think we see that I'm so inspired by Gen Z, or I don't know what the other generations are even called, Alpha. They're coming into their power at such a young age and really finding their voice and using it. Really inspired by them and everything that they create and the innovators that they're going to be of the world that we're going to be living in. Really excited to just be receptive of that too.